game, they'll just look at you. The second game, they'll go back and forth. Another game, they will look behind their shoulders to see whether or not you are there. And there are times they'll just randomly discharge their electro beams. Yeah, that happened. This is one of those games that required you to tap at a joystick. Because back then, we didn't have game pads. You had to tap and tap and tap. Just nudge a control stick to do this. Evidently, robots gotta moonwalk sometimes. And this asshole is gonna be doing this. So, I gotta do this. That's another problem with some of these robots. They know where you are. They are constantly locked into your position, and they will either go fast or they'll go slow, but they will always be zeroed in on you. And what happens when they see you, that is debatable. If the robot sees you, it may charge toward you. It may decide to discharge its electric shock. More often than not, they'll just discharge their electroshock. I always hated this room, however. Mostly because of the platforms. I mean, you are required to go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, just to get where you're going. You really have to plan your route ahead, just to get from point A to point B. You can't just simply go up or down one elevator and get to the end. It just turns the game into an unnecessary puzzle. And unfortunately, there's other rooms that are even worse. This is by far one of the most difficult rooms in the game. Usually, for the way the robots are set up, you are required to set up a snooze button. Mostly because of those two bookshelves, which are impossible to get under any circumstances. So you have to have at least one snooze to get that to work. Thanks a lot, Mr. Evil Scientist. By the way, you're up against the evil scientist in this game who wants to launch missiles all to various points all over the world. He's a hacker. He has somehow gotten control, and some guy in a leotard has been sent in to stop him. And somehow I have managed to break the ball's physics. I don't know how, but I did. Back in the day when I first played this, I thought that you merely had to get from the left side of the complex to the right side. And it wasn't until later that I learned that that was not the case. No, what you are actually doing is collecting puzzle pieces. Nothing here. That's because it's a door. There is usually nothing in a door. Because usually what's in the door is nothing but a steel frame. Uh-huh. Haha! I got the thingy, so nail on you. Yeah. I apologize. My brain is still mush from that baseball game. Searching. Ah! Found a snooze button. And that's what I'm talking about with the TV. It's a TV. There's not much to search. As this version of the game was pointed out. Oh god. This room is a pain in the ass. Mostly because your objective is to get to the bottom of the screen. And hopefully, you won't die from that robot on the bottom. Which in this case, it turns out to be a fast-moving robot that zaps at the end of every patrol route. Whore. Oh, by the way, you have a time limit. The game starts at noon, and you have until 6 p.m. to finish the game. At 6 p.m., the mad scientist launches launches the nukes, and the game is over. Now we have a snooze button. We shall use it. Our main objective is to get to those two bookcases on the top, which evidently I may have already blown my chance. I don't... Yeah, I've blown my chance. Motherfucker. Do I have another? I do not have another. Fuck. Why did that happen? Chat room? Why did that happen? I think I have problems. This game is doing things to me. No worries there. I'm already partially destroyed. Well, mentally anyway. I blame it on the biscuits. I found another snooze, but I'm going to go ahead and wait until I come back around before I try that one again. This one is another problem spot, mostly because of the placement of that candy machine at the very top. Although the TV at the top is also a problem spot, it's not as much a problem spot. Of course, novice players will have problems just getting across the platforms. Novice players will not know right off the bat that they can just walk over platforms a la Ninja Turtles. Although this guy that's following me, that guy might be a problem. Maybe. I might have... That scream never gets old. I might have to use a snooze. And of course, those that do not know what do not know how the game operates, the snooze, it freezes all the robots in the room. Okay, we have a new problem. I missed my opportunity to get to the candy machine. And I fell again. Why am I falling? There we go. Yeah, I think it's page down that acts as the restore button, which is pretty much akin to the reset button on this game. So I'm going to pretend like my blunders never happened. Yeah, can't really pretend. Right out of the gate, I had a problem. Okay, for this room, you have to somehow get to the top without dying. That's kind of hard to do. Because as I mentioned earlier, the robots from game to game, from load in to reset to whatever, the robots all have different programming. Every last one of them has a random set of parameters. So I had to have died about 3 times. Every time you die, it takes 10 minutes off your timer. Okay, that was luck. Okay, the way that robot is guarding that elevator, I don't think it'll be possible to get down there. So I'm gonna have to go down and around to get to that last bookcase. Please don't zap me. Didn't have to be zapped, I just had to run into it. Derp. Now, let's go ahead and place some bets here for those that are watching the highlights. How much you want to bet that that robot is going to zip at me the second it sees me? Now, sometimes it will go slow, sometimes it will go it will go at a fast speed, and sometimes it will just go at blistering fast speeds whenever it sees me, and sometimes it will just zap me. So we got 4 choices of what the fuck this thing's going to do. Place your bets. I'm going to jump in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, jump! It went at a fast speed. I am going to need a password to get to that candy machine. Yeah, whatever. Okay, this guy's programming is kind of basic. Just zip back and forth, no care in the world. Just hope that you run into whatever might be an intruder. And that guy's programming is to zap whatever the fuck he sees. This will take about 1 more attempt, because it remembers how often I have been searching it. All of that for nothing. Alright, what's in here? This one is probably the most easiest room in the game. Mostly because you have no danger whatsoever of dying. Unless, of course, you're very, very slow on the draw. And that's the end of that shaft. Candy! Once again, zipping back and forth like there's no care in the world. Okay, this one moves at a moderate pace. Again, just going back and forth, not caring about what it sees. Now, sometimes you can run into an easy room and not know it. Okay, it's that room. And I get zapped again. Temporarily disable, accept. Accepted password. Let me get that candy. And there was nothing in the candy. Fuck, there was nothing in there either. This one can be a moderately difficult room if your opposition has just the right kind of programming, and this one does appear to have that kind of programming. They are all honed in on my position. This one will zap me, but these other two don't appear to want to zap me. However, the lack of space to jump properly can make it a rather difficult room. Yeah, for this you gotta be really patient. Again, you might have problems with this one, but only if you don't know what you're doing. And again, there's always a possibility you will get that specific kind of programming in every single robot. But evidently I lucked out. A lot of this game just requires luck. Like, will you or won't you get the right robot configs? This one is rather basic. You may or may not get the right configuration here, but mostly the problem is not in the robot. You might have a robot that will zap you if it sees you, but the biggest problem is the platforms. You might have to reset the platforms once or twice just to get through from one point to another. I mean, it's not entirely the typewriters you gotta worry about. Who'd have figured that an electric ball would pop like a bubble? Belch again. And I'm seeing activity in my chat. I gotta see this. You life, destroy him by robots. I see. Hello, Mr. D20. How are you today? How are you, gentlemen? It's a good thing you weren't here earlier because my nostalgia has been raped. I attempted to run the classic mode on Impossible Mission 2025. Impossible Mission 2025. That is the version of, well, not exactly a version. It's kind of an update to this game that was made for the Amiga. Yeah. And I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure if the actual game of it is reminiscent of that of the ports you see on the PSP, the DS, and the Wii. But the classic mode, it's supposed to be this. Supposed to be this. But the physics are all wrong. The robots are cheap as hell. Everything takes forever to fucking search. You know those giant TVs that have like a little tiny search bar? They now have as much to search as you would a fireplace. It's so bad it chokes me up. I'm gonna have to come back to this one. Damn, how many times have I died already? Fuck. Yeah, this room, you really have to perfect your step skills to get that that bookcase. Because otherwise you're not gonna get it. No way. Oh right, I forgot. I hadn't even started this shaft. Alright, let's go up a bit. Is there anything at the top? There is something at the top. Yeah, it was this room on the Amiga version that just... It was a straw that broke the camel's back. I mean, the TV took forever to search. The physics were all wrong. There was a section where I... Fuck you, robot. There was a section where I fell through the floor. There was... Evidently, Microprose did not bother to test this game. How bad am I doing? Shit, I've already lost half the time. I gotta stop being careless. Because I only have 6 to finish this game. I'm not talking about 6 o'clock p.m. our time, I'm talking about 6 in the game time. Once 6 o'clock runs around, the mad scientist launches the nukes and the game is over. And the game shakes around violently and you hear ha 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 ha. The first time I have ever seen anyone troll the player in a game. Actually, he trolled the world to come to think about it. Stick and move, stick and move. This one's just a back and forth. No worries here. Just remember to stick and move. I'll be fine. Based on certain robot configs, you have no choice but to use a snooze. Go ahead and head to the top of this one and start down the next shaft. And my cat suddenly decided that she wants attention. I'm currently providing attention. Oh god, this room. This room can be kind of scary, in a way. Mostly because you hear nothing. When my dad and I, back in 1984, was playing this game, I think it was 84, it might have been 85. When we played this, we heard nothing. It was like, oh, it sounds like an easy room. Oh, shit! And the ball, we noticed the ball was coming. And the people that ported this to the current gen consoles, the Wii, the PSP, the DS, they fucked up this room. They forgot to put the ball in. Exactly, D20. Derp. You know, that's another thing I failed to note to mention regarding the Impossible Mission remake. Even though the rooms are random, the robots are not. Each and every one of the robots has a set config. Once you figure out what it is, you can beat this game any day of the week. Okay, I have a feeling that guy is set to zap me when he sees me. Yep, he's a zapper. Definitely have to save that room for later. Are you a zapper? You are not a zapper. Robots do not like hugs. Hello, are you a zapper? You are not a zapper. Alright, gonna have to pass this one up for later. This room can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. Mostly because of the journey to get to the bottom of the room. Sometimes you'll have problems with the robot on the bottom, but it's not always the problem area. It's kind of rare that you'll see a robot down there that is honed in on your position and will zap you. But this one will always cause problems, no matter what. Like, for example, this guy is honed in on my position, the one above me. And I have to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to use a snooze on a mediocre room. I don't. I used a snooze on a room that did not deliver any goods. That hurts. That fucking hurts. Although I do have some more snoozes, so let's go ahead and finish up this room. Disable robots. Log off. I want these things. Nothing. Ah, puzzle. Yay. I has puzzle piece. So, D20, how fast can you beat this game? I'm assuming you finished it once or twice. You never finished it? Aww. You should get cracking on that, my friend. If by any chance you need to get it on a console, I would recommend the Master System version. Get you one of those power-based converters and plug that sucker in. Plug it into your Genesis. Oh, I remember this room. I don't know what it does. Aha! You have to go from lowest tone to highest tone. Yay! I got it. Evidently, Dawn is having problems, so she is officially leaving the call. I feel bad for her. I must... Is it Dawn? Okay. Alright, I will see you later, Dawn. Either way, give John a big hug. Just don't cough in his face. Proceeding to the next shaft. Huh. Somebody said something. I just missed the message. This room can cause problems. I just want to say that up front. The problem area is not the item in the upper left corner, but this one right above my head. There's not a whole lot of room in which you can maneuver to get to it without using a snooze. Plus, there's always the risk of getting a really bad robot config. Yeah, that's a bad robot config right there. I need to use a snooze for that. And there's nothing there. Motherfucker. I see, there's another one of you. Yeah, it has more goodies. You'd think that the hard-to-get item would have puzzle pieces, but no. I agree. That's just bullshit. I'm going to stop there because there's no way I could remember 6 tones. Yay, I got 5 snoozes. I have always hated that room. And we're back to this piece of shit room again. And now we have 2 robots that are fixed on my position. Alright, let's see how bad we fuck this up. Searching. Nothing. Searching. Nothing. Searching. Nothing. Searching. Death. I have to do this shit again. I hate that jump. Okay, what's further down? That's it, just one more. Okay. Crap. I got just an hour and a half. Use another password. I swear I'm using this shit like it's candy. I can't be using snoozes every 5 seconds. Worse yet, it's not even giving me any snoozes. Most of the snoozes I got was from the game, from that little that little music game. Thanks, Mr. Ball. That was nice of you to troll me like that. One more shaft to go. Yep, that one's a follower. Oh, God. I'm not going to win this one. I've got my doubts already. At least you'll get to see the game over screen. In the paraphrases of one Jason Pollara, you will get laughed at. A lot. The worst part is when you think you're doing great on a room and all of a sudden the game stops and you get nothing but the ha 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 ha. I'm gonna do it on time. I've got a half an hour. Yeah, this particular setup has been rather troll-tastic. And I'm getting trolled right now. Look at that. Just inching along, slow as can be. And here's the last room. And it's this room. I have one snooze, and I have to use it here. Fuck. You will see the game over. I essentially just have to die 2 more times. Either that or just hang around for about 15 minutes and do nothing. Or that. At least I have a couple more platform resets. Alright, we're going to do this. I'm going to turn up the volume for this so you can hear it. And the 3, and the 2. Bring on the ha-ha. Ha ha.